everybody, Namaskar. This is Engineer Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat, India on this day, September 26th, 2021, Sunday. Rest day for everybody here and elsewhere, except in those countries who do not rest on Sundays. Welcome, dear everybody. Talk continues about safety, health, environment, and quality. In relation to all issues in life and in profession, important issue is COVID-19 and life, and title being Civil Field Engineering, life related to that, quality AnnexSL, COVID-19 SHE, that stands for Safety, Health and Environment, engineer's role towards each topic, designs, construction, methods, contracts, organizations, communication, coordination, and why all time be behind quality of standard materials and exceptional materials and real materials and systems. You can entitle in your way, but ultimately target being quality product and safe and health. Safety and health, everybody should be concerned about these issues, though many of you are negligent. Should not be, because of competencies. For example, this certificate, and there are so many such sequence of certificates everybody has got, and that's where we say we should have quality system in every affair of life, without which I think there is no meaning to move. And if we move, we waste ourselves, we waste energies, and we waste materials. And that's where I can say, you can see this, that we have quality systems. That is indeed no doubt. We have quality systems everywhere, and we have pride about that. Companies and organizations are having pride. We have ISO 9001 2015. And in same we can say they have systems that can claim that they undergo safety, health and environment. All provisions are available. It is zero signals now. Again same problem, Airtel problem. I don't know what to do. Just 3 minutes have gone. Very well, let us say, when I talk of quality system, when I talk of safety system, when I talk of environment system, when we talk of some other system, there are so many systems, but ultimately target is, our objective is quality product, good health, good safety and livable environment. COVID-19 runs with us now, another factor that has added super criticality in life, and we cannot move without it until it is our guest COVID-19 to this year, that year, last year, and I don't know how many incoming years. The world is trying to learn how to live with it. Well, that is very good proposition, how to live with COVID-19, and that proposition is very easy in fact, rather than thinking a lot without anything. As safety says, you have to resort to protective measures. That is what the safety requirement mandates. Have safety, have good health, have good environment, And have good environment, have quality life. That is one part. And quality life also is supported by materials, by service, and by whatever you get. It should be acceptable to indications to given requirements. I feel happy, really happy, when I find someone delivers quality. Though it's seldom, you won't find uniformity in that. There was a time when you could say this is national company, this is international organization or company that delivers something, product which we can say, oh my God, this is believable, unbelievable, what a quality it has. And now if we try to find, is there certain organization which can give quality? It doesn't matter, it be national organization or international organization, because quality has dropped everywhere. It be service or it be product. Everywhere it is dropped, so I should not differentiate between national and international organizations. Even top organizations are not worried about quality because they have got certain certifications, world level certifications. For example, certification compliance to ISO 9001 or to Sigma or to someone else. Services have come down to level with formal announcement only. They just say we are quality company, we are quality organization, and if you see their services, really you will find that they are sleeping. If for example this telephone services or this mobile services or these you can say internet services which I am using now, say Airtel, I have been using Airtel for a couple of years, or since I started my internet. Before it was Tata. Tata has left because Tata could not maintain quality standards. And then before Tata I had Airtel. There was a problem in their service, and I don't think even after a couple of years I find same problem in services given by Airtel. And it's not simply specifically I can say Airtel. People complain about signals everywhere. It may be mobile use or it may be you can say 4G hotspot use or whatever use. Means signals always give you problem. This means signals do not have required quality as consumer expects or as should be according to requirements. This means maybe they are capable or they are not capable, I cannot say, but one issue is certain, one consideration is very much true and certain, that these organizations are used to sleeping status. Means they can talk to you on telephones, they don't want something to be cared, they don't want to take care. In fact, it's difficult if signals goes down from 2 MB to 0. What do you think? Means there is so much fall, immediately it comes down to little level and then goes down. So for example, it's happening now, I'm finding 559.9 kbps in video and 32.6 kbps audio, then it goes down further and goes up again. It's now 306.5, 324.7, 35.1, and then again changes. It sometimes goes up high as 2 MB or 1.5 MB, and it goes down now to 73.4 it is kbps and 29.1 kbps. So what I'm saying is, now it's 290.9 for example and 31 kbps for audio. I'm just giving you what I'm watching is a live signals is giving. Means it's now early morning, it's 3:47 a.m. and I don't think people use very much 294 kbps and 30.9 kbps. People don't use it very much early morning because they sleep. Now 251.4 and 27.4. So this fluctuation means what? Why this fluctuation? This means something is somewhere wrong. For 61.9 now, 48.7. When I say first one, there is video signal, second one is audio signal. 280.9 and 29.3. I'm trying to see every second, every couple of seconds, 324.9 kbps and 32.8 kbps. This clearly indicates that there is no regularity, there is no uniformity. Again it's down. So what I mean to say, why after all? Why can't we keep ourselves updated? Why don't we have some limitations? And means you have to suffer in your broadcast. It is service they provide. I don't say that they don't have infrastructure, they must have. Either they don't have infrastructure, they are overloaded, or otherwise they don't have proper staffing, or they don't have proper, you can say, surveillance, or there is something wrong in maintenance of their system, or their system is not well grown up, not well standard one. So why should it happen? That question come up. It's not first time happening with me, it happens every day, and I suffer. You suffer because I suffer. I can't do continuous transmission, and I have to close video because it ends itself. So what I mean to say is, it should not happen. We learn in English that there is punctuation, there is regularity, there is dedication, there is devotion, there is commitment, but nothing here. And if you write to them, they will teach you something undue. I have written every day, usually you can say I write something, I could not get this, I could not get that, your signals break and this happens, I broke my live video. They don't care. They say, no, there's a problem in your device, there's a problem here and there. Of course, it's your device, means your signals. Actually, it is signals problem, and I don't know. I wrote many mails, and I think they are also tired of reading my emails, because after 25-30 mails they write again same thing. Because I say, why do you send me mails in response? Why don't you correct your system? Why should I not get the right signals which I require notes? Because every time Facebook says your signals should be between 50 to 60 frame per second, 50 to 60 frame per second, but sometimes it's 0, sometimes 2, sometimes 3. The video ends. This means you are a company, you are a service provider, but you are not efficient all time. Sometimes you are efficient and sometimes you are 0. It should not happen. I am just giving an example of Airtel. It shouldn't happen. I purchased from HP. I think refer to you many times this, but again I refer. I purchased online two mouses, computer mouses, HP mouses, that is, you can say, cable mouses or wired mouses, and I paid them online. I got delivery. Courier boys' duties to deliver, that's are not more than that. Now signals are 426.8 kbps and 45.6. What I am saying now, it's 260.7 kbps and 2.26. So what a drop. That's what problem lies in. 269, 282. It's never constant even for 5 minutes. Problem is that. Even for 5 minutes, 361.9 and 38.6 again goes down. So what should I do? 247 and 255. I was telling you about mouses. I purchased 2 mouses, wired mouses, optical mouse, wired mouses, and they delivered. And when I opened it, one mouse did not work at all. It didn't go any light. I was surprised. What should I do? I don't know. Maybe I don't know procedure of this mouse. That's of course that's not true for me also. So I've been using mouse since beginning. I've been using this. Okay, I tried. I was a little confused what to do. Then I said, okay, let me try another one. Another one started. Out of 2, 1 did not work. I was what to do. I sent mail to that organization from which I bought. I mean that agency, or that's we can say online. Though it is HP mouse, but there was I actually don't remember. Was I got from that. I wrote to them. In their output, they wanted me to give us your feedback. I wrote to them that this mouse is not working, and they said, okay, we will look into this, and nothing happened. Then after no solution from them, then I wrote to HP office in Gurgaon. They say you refer to that company which delivered to you. Then I written, they are not responding. Then I got a call from this. Is okay. We can't do anything because you buy from this. I said, look, it's your mouse and you are original manufacturer. Then I think there was a transpiration of about 20 mails to them, and ultimately I lost that mouse. They were arguing for nothing, and they were rather thinking of solving their problem. They started blaming me. Your mail is not good. You are using bad words. You are talking bad to our callers. I said, I am only talking now. I am only talking bad. Believe me, if I see you, I attack on you. I said them clearly. I am not your servant. You are not my owner. I am your customer. Your duty is to satisfy me as far as product is concerned. No other way. If your product does not work in beginning, this means you are a rubbish company. Believe me, you may be HP or whatsoever. If your product does not start even in beginning, when I install it, you have sold it, you got money. You think it's okay. It's your duty to, before packing, before sending to customer, that it should work. Whose duty it is? It's my duty or it's your duty? Tell me. Means they are only bureaucratic people. They sit in offices and in air conditioned offices and think they can manage everything from there. It doesn't happen. You are selling a product. Before giving it to someone or before dispatching it, packing it, it's your duty. It is your quality performance duty to make sure that product works. If you do not make this, then this is a drop, this is a defect in your quality system. You cannot say, well, a quality company. It's your responsibility. And another one is, if by chance it happened with me, I informed you that this product doesn't work, it's your another duty to replace it immediately. You send someone, do whatever you want to do, give me good product and take it back. But you announce your own system as if you are government, you are world body, as you are, no, go to that service center, do this and do that. I say myself, why should I go? Ultimately, though I went after that, I could not get succeed. Means what they think? If I had to go to service center, then I could go to shop also, some vendor also, to buy product. Why to waste my time? If I had to go to a service center and I had to spend money on that, I have to take my vehicle, go there, spend to 1 liter petrol, 2 liter petrol. Who shall pay for that? And then I have to wait for another 15 days until you give me. Means it is nonsense. It's your fault, not my fault. Your product I paid to, you got money, you're not caring about that. Whose fault? Where's quality then? You are writing quality system, customer satisfaction, our objective. Where is customer satisfaction? There's no customer satisfaction here. It's customer harassment. It's customer embarrassment. Money you got immediately, you didn't say, you give later, or you give after 15 days, or you give after 1 month. You didn't say that. You got money, of course. You give me free delivery, but what's benefit of that? Free delivery doesn't mean you can send, you can dispatch whatever you want. That is what, my dear friends. There are so many instances, not only with HP or someone else, also with many more companies who claim themselves international companies. I don't accept any company now as international company because all are rubbish. You may take Tata Sky, their signals are so bad, even in little rain, television stops working. So bad signals they have. You can take, this internet, you can take mobile, you can't talk, there's a drop all time. Means you can say they're not interested. No one is interested in quality. Forget government. Government is never interested. They don't care. They are not technical people. They only want to run their seats. They get their seats. That's why they are interested in something else. But you are business people. You are industrious people. You are service providers. You have to give business. You have to take business. You give me business means give me good service so that I can do my work, even if it's home or whatever. If my work is disturbed because of you, then where is quality? I don't find quality in that case. It's very important matter. Everybody should raise his voice, but I think we are people, that sort of people, we compromise too quickly. We don't want to see struggle. We don't want to fight with someone. Fight with them. If Airtel is giving this service, it's not doing any obligation on me. I am paying you. You are getting profit out of that. If I buy a mouse for 300 rupees, it may cost just 50 rupees. It may cost just 100 rupees. I am paying you 300. And you are not giving me even use a start warranty, forget complete warranty. That's what I am saying. Likewise, I bought once Microtech UPS. It resulted same way. Imagine within 7 days, it's some card broke, something happened, and I had to call them, and they replaced it. Since 7 days, you have to replace your product spares or product some part. Then again, sometime later, its transformer burnt. It may be whatever reason, but I had to face problem. Then you came in 4 or 5 days or 6 days after complaint and you attended, so I could not use that in 4 or 5 days. So what is service then? What is quality then? And it happened with me, my microwave oven. Means it's the magnetron, which is the root, the heart of oven, microwave oven, magnetoelectronics equipment broke in just, I think, within 1 month. Means if your products which are new, if their response is rubbish, you can say a breakdown in 7 days or 1 month. What do you mean by that? What do you call it? How can you state it? What quality is there? There is no quality system. It's only on papers. I don't trust certifications now, even if it's done by registered agencies who have got licenses from ISO 9001. The ISO 9001 is not responsible for that. It's responsible for standardization of systems. They are not responsible for registrations, but people write ISO 9001 certified. Though it is certified of compliance, not a registered company, though well, that's different matter. But question is, you claim that you are a quality organization. I want to find you where is your quality organization, and that's where I say is very important issue. So I said COVID-19 is running, there should be quality in combating it or in dealing with this, and that is safety only. Nothing else can handle with COVID-19, even you have inoculations or vaccinations, or you have whatever parallel arrangement, but you have to handle safety accordingly for your health. You can read news every day in England what's happening, in Ireland what's happening, in Scotland what's happening, in USA what's happening, or in many other parts of the world what's happening. Though all news are not coming in, not pouring rightly. In Australia what's happening, in China what happened, in Hong Kong what happened, in Russia what happened, means, and in our country we are hiding news. Now it's 0 signals, you can say both. Video is 0 and audio is 0. Now it's 116.7 and 12.6. Now it's 1.2 Mbps and 124.3. See, fluctuation, that's what I'm calling is. With 301 now 310.3 kbps and 330. So what a drop you can see. That is my worry. Means, what is your arrangement? Why it goes up immediately and then comes down and then there's 0? That's a problem. It means, okay, it should be proportionally, okay, fine, I understand some people are using it so signals are disturbed, but 0, 0, 0 and again 1.5, now it is 295.5, 47.5 to 6.1 to 6.1. So why this difference? 322.6 kbps and 34.7 kbps. That's what I'm trying to say. Somebody should understand. I can't explain everything to everyone. If you get my problem, I am sure you are getting same problem on your internet. You try sometimes live and see how it works, because in others you can't find signals. In live telecast you will find video and audio signals or 276.7 or kbps and 29.5 kbps. And this is a problem. 14 fps it is showing 14 frames per second. So I don't understand what is this. Really, 360 kbps and 39.9 kbps. Well, it's go on. I am just trying to refer to you what's happening. I can't just put information of clarity when I'm talking about. So COVID-19 can be handled only by resorting to safety precautionary measures, and that's the only way. And I think it's not difficult if you consider out of whole discussion. You have to maintain yourself, and that's it. Just like you maintain other health, you maintain your protection, and that's it. That's mask and eye protection and good food, not food, fast food, so that your health is maintained, your cholesterol don't rise, you're not you can say abdominous person, you're not obese person. Where it can impact is your weak immunity of body, and walk in sun. That's another solution. Though in heat particularly, where there is hot season, you get benefit of that, but you are very well luxurious person, you want to stay in AC, and even if you stay in air conditioning accommodation, use mask. Believe me, you will not get COVID. Do not think that I am inside and aerosols won't affect me because I am not in contact with someone else. This is all now partly true, partly not true. No scientist can claim anything, and no one has claimed so far what to do, what not to do, what is right way or what is not right way. No one can claim that. So only way is have good protective measures, loss preventive measure. If you want to have temporary arrangements of treatment, it's better to have precautionary treatment. Very few means good food means don't go for fast food, don't go for meat, or you can say take simple food, vegetables, boiled even. Don't go for oil, and don't go for high level of, you can say, spices. Hot water is better, hot food is better, mask everywhere is better, because you cannot trust where there can be aerosols or no. And of course it's very important that keep yourself fit. That's only I can say. I'm not doctor, I'm neither doctor, not engineer, but life is important for everybody. And quality can come only when your thoughts are quality based, your concentration and thinking is quality based. Nobody can help you, you have to help yourself. What's happening in England, what's happening in the USA, children are being affected up to age of 17, and people above 65 like me are affected. But I don't feel affected because I am free mind, and I always use mask. Even at this time when I'm sitting in my room, I am using mask early morning 4 o'clock. Why not to have your, you can say, protection? That is an only way. And I can say engineers and all professionals and doctors, of course, they take precautions. Engineers also must take precautions. And precaution doesn't mean you use a mask and don't cover your nostrils and lips. There's no use of mask, then there's no meaning of mask if I wear it just at chin level and I don't. There's no meaning of that. Means some people cheat themselves and they try to say that mask is warm, but nostrils are free to air and lips are free to air. Some people cannot talk without mask. With mask. I don't know why they keep down mask and talk. And I see these reporters also. Oh, they think they have gone vaccination. No, vaccination is no alternative. Vaccination is only immunity raiser. It's no treatment. It's no cure. It's no precautionary measure. Immunity can be raised by yourself. Don't worry about anything. And now we go to world of construction. Construction world, quality system, for which I am talking. I am worried about. I can't. It's AnnexSL. It's AnnexSL for AnnexSL format for contracting. No, this is for contracting. I think it's beautiful to understand that why I'm saying. Let me make it 770 so that you can see a little wider. Okay. Again 00, video 00 and audio 3. Now it's again 26.7. You see fluctuation. I'm really surprised. At 2 Mbps now, see there's this much difference. 104.3, now 317. From 3 MB down to 317 kbps. Means I'm waiting that maybe within a couple of minutes this video ends because of signals. Well, whatever we can do, we can talk. I'm going to talk about, and last time I gave you AnnexSL format. It's having 10 clauses in that. Now we are going to discuss about contracting. That is AnnexSL ISO 9001-2015 quality management system. And my topic is contracting general, IRC, contracting general, RCC, reinforced cement concrete, that we call it RCC buildings construction. I'm going to talk something about building construction or civil construction, you can say. And my title is written here, International Professional Engineer India, and my name is Suraj Singh, you know it. So we say ISO 9001-2015. This format, AnnexSL, is important in this, and it is contracting general RCC buildings construction template. It's just a template. It's my thinking. You can make your own template according to your contracts. Just for explanation, I'm trying to reference only. It's not necessary you follow it. Just you should understand. You should know means what I want to say. Quality system. contracting general RCC buildings construction. If someone deals in RCC buildings construction or buildings construction, what should be quality system there for contracting? That is title here. So what we say contracting, what is contract? First of all, we have to understand that before going further. You know contracts, everybody knows contract, what is contract, how it works. And contracts are everywhere. Every day you have contracts. Means when you buy something or you take some service, that's also called contract. When you take AMC, it's called annual maintenance contract. You install your, you can say, RO in your home, or you have some microwave oven in your home, or fridge in your home, or UPS in your home, washing machine in your home, or whatever equipment you have, the mechanism or the mechanical equipment or electrical equipment you have in your home, you then need service of that after warranty period is over. And during warranty period they serve you, but that money already they have charged. They charge already with purchase of that item. So that AMC post warranty you pay every year. You pay every year some amount, so that, of course, with certain conditions, and they serve you for that period, and then you renew every time. And generally it's called AMC, annual maintenance contract. So you understand what is contract, that you pay some amount to them and they deliver you required service. Their representatives come sometimes and they inspect your, examine and repair that whatever is at fault, or they maintain it. What can you say? That is contract. So how can you define contract? First you have to understand. After all, I am talking of building. It's not RO. It's not small equipment. Building is constructed for decades, or you can say at least until you live, and at least your kids live. Maybe 50, 100 years. It may be 150 years. Let us say 50 to 100 years. Let us consider only that, because nobody knows how many years your building will live. So building shall live only when it is strong enough to live, or you can say in SHE terms that it is safe to serve you, it is healthy enough to go along with you, and its environment, like its ventilation, like its sanitary system, like its hygiene, like its material that used, and you can say circulation of air, circulation of sun rays, means whatever is required by you for maintaining good understanding with building good feeling. You must have a feeling that it's your home or it's your whatever land use it is. Means you spend your time there, maybe 50% of your 24 hours. You sleep there as well, or it is maybe your office, it may be your industry, it may be your factory, it may be whatever sort of structure. Ultimately, I am talking about structure. Structure is very important part in our life, and particularly structure of buildings or structure of whatever you can say. There is no limit. You can have original building or infrastructure building or whatever other infrastructure. Here I am talking buildings, RCC buildings and other buildings which are concrete structured. Means RCC is concrete element and is composite element where steel or reinforcing bars are used along with concrete, or you can say concrete is used along with reinforcing bars. Generally everybody knows about building, RCC building. Maybe people don't understand what's RCC, but they understand what's building. And some people call something depending on area. Nobody actually understands. Somebody says columns and beams, and somebody says pillars. Somebody says column and lantern. Somebody says, way you can call whatever. That's not a matter here. Question is contracting, and contract itself says there are two tracks, and both persons have to walk each on one track. They should walk equally. One should not try to defeat other, and other should not try to defeat one. In contracting language, we call both are parties to contract. Parties to contract means what? Party 1 is there and Party 2 is there. Name is like that, but both are parties. In fact, both are contracting parties. That document which is written is entitled contract document or contract form or contract, where one is defined as Party 1. Generally, it is employer, it is owner, you can say, who takes responsibility financially and otherwise. That is called employer. Party 1, who is responsible for making payment for works carried out by contractor, and contractor is Party 2. Term is contractor or Party 2. Though both are on contracts, just try to understand. Owner and contractor both are on contract. So in article meaning you can say actually both are contractors. One has contracted this deal for paying money and one has contracted for working for that owner. But just to differentiate, we can say one is employer and one is contractor, so that their functions are clear. Each body's functions are clear. What employer has to do, what responsibility employer has, what duty employer has, and what liability employer has, and what responsibility other party to contractor has, what liability contractor has, what duties contractor has. This we have to understand. Employer doesn't mean it should be one person. There can be whatever arrangement. It's a body of persons or property. It's a body of, you can say, proprietors. Whatever owner is, it can be state government, it can be central government, or any other government, or whatever government, or it can be private, whosoever. One who pays and contract means contract works under, contract is administered under Contract Act. It's administered under Contract Act. And you know what is Contract Act in our country, in every country. There are contracts which are drawn under provisions of Contract Act, and those provisions must be satisfied. If something goes ultra vires, that can be set aside by court of law. So before understanding, we have to understand that we are not we don't do something new by drawing a contract or implement, or you can say executing a contract. Whatever conditions, how many conditions are there is no limit. There can be general conditions, there can be there can be specific conditions or particular conditions, and there can be contract according to FIDIC also, FIDIC. That is, you can say, just like quality system, there is ISO 9001. For contracting, there is FIDIC, Federal International Consultancy of Contracts, you can say. FIDIC, which the FIDIC is an institution, it's an international association that has responsibility, or you can say advisory responsibility, for drawing contracts and what sort of language should be used and what clauses should be used for construction contract, and for EPC what should be used for design contracts or mechanical contracts. Likewise, it has many such sets, and it's not mandatory that you have to follow that, but it is better if you follow, because professional input exists there due to fact that that organization is a consultancy at international level, and it can give you many guidelines which you may not have otherwise. So it's up to engineers, because engineers are designers of contract documents in addition to being designers of structures. I call it design because it's also a design. It's not that there's no steel etc. in this, but contract is contract. It's a document, legal document, chartered document. You can say it's a kind of charter between employer and contractor. What rights one has and what rights other has. Both are having rights, and these rights are given due to mutual understanding of Party 1 and Party 2 under provisions of FIDIC or under provisions of statutory document, that is Indian Contract Act, or whatever other country is involved, that Contract Act. So first we have to understand that point very clearly, because without understanding documents, without understanding statutes, we can't do anything. Indian Contract Act or other Contract Act, these are all parliamentary approved, these are statutory approved, these are statutory acts, and these are not private provisions. Our whatever contract we devise, we should have brief knowledge of Contract Act, and we should know what is employer and what is contractor, and what are others there who are not party to contract but who are going to impact this contract. For example, engineer exists there. Engineer means not ordinary engineer. Engineer means a person who would supervise that contract, or who has drawn this contract, or who is a designer, or who is supervisor contractually, whose actions are done on behalf of employer 1, employer or party 1. You can say one party is employer, owner, and that owner pays to that engineer for purpose of surveillance, for purpose of supervision, for purpose of examination, for purpose of approvals, for purpose of every act on behalf of owner, and that is called engineer. It's not engineer that one has only certificate, but contractual liability, contractual mandate, and that is not a party on contract, but on behalf of contractor, that party deals with party 2, that is contractor. So there is a differentiation, and there may be more there may be more people, more professionals like TPC, third party certification or third party controls. So there can be, one is employer, one is a contractor, that is contractual arrangement, but other one are engineer and third party certification body, and these are administrative arrangements to support both, to support employer as well as to support contractor. It's also support to contractor because contractor is a party, and contractor work shall be affected if these parties do not do not allow work to go smooth. This is, you can say, engineer as well as third party controls. And then if you say both have organizations, engineer has its own organizations, that is, you may call it consultancy organization or supervising organization when it is a contract like this. As I am saying, construction contract only, when design is not done, design is not in scope, it doesn't come under coverage of designs, it doesn't come coverage of scope of contract, that you have to do designs also. So designs are delivered to you as part of contract documents. Designs are delivered by engineer or whomever engineer appoints for that purpose. That is headache of, that is, you can say, responsibility of owner, not of contractor. Contractor has got the design during tender itself, bid itself, and before signing your contract, construction contract, everything is clarified to you, design is given to you, complete contract documents are given to contractor. These are all listed one, and contract may be lump sum, fixed price, and that price cannot change. That's also true. Generally, fixed price contracts is lump sum contracts. These are based on many specifications like general specification, particular specification, project specifications, project designs, project, you can say, all other documents, contract documents, or whatever you can say. Document number 1, that is in top level consideration, is contract. Contract form, what contract actually is, then it is supported by specifications and then further supported by drawings and details, and it's up to them how they take into consideration. Contract documents must be defined. These must be defined in list. What contract is, price must be given, lump sum price, we call it consideration in contract language in our contract statutes, and we have to define scope of work. The scope of work means what contractor has to do, and as much as it is possible to define, it should be pinpointed and covered, so that contractor should not then have dispute with employer, and employer should not have dispute with contractor. If documents are clear, the scope is clear, distribution of responsibility are clear. DOR we call it, distribution of responsibility. Responsibility means chart type or matrix type arrangement is done, that these are activities, or these are materials, or these are responsibilities. Whose responsibility is contractor's responsibility or employer's responsibility? and that is described in that, and then further we can't describe because then other party who are not party to contracts like engineer and TPC they come in, but it is indicated clearly what shall be their role on this contract. Role and liabilities are different. Engineer has a role, resident engineer has a role, TPC has a role. These are supervisory roles. These are not, like you can say, you can directly hold them. You cannot hold them directly. Contractor cannot put them on liability. Contractor cannot sue them. Contractor can sue only employer. Contractor cannot sue engineer. Contractor cannot sue TPC. Engineer cannot sue contractor. TPC cannot sue contractor, but employer can. Because direct relation exists between employer and contractor, or you can say both are on same level. One is party 1, as is party 2, and that is, you can say, construction contract. And generally, engineer is responsible for supporting employer in a capacity of supervisor, and also designer, because design is part of engineer's responsibility or someone other engineer's responsibility, or design is responsibility, but here we are limiting our title to engineer. Whoever is there, even on site who supervises lowest profile engineer, we call engineer on behalf of employer. And generally we call it engineer in lump sum or in whatever contract, but in construction contract, in lump sum also we call representative, employer's representative, and this term engineer is also included there. We will talk it later on when we come to we come to talk of, you can say, EPC. Now we are talking construction contractor. So I just tried to explain to you what is contract, and contract is not simply one page document, it is many pages, and you can say it is duly executed, and it says this is date, there's some list that's called contract data. Contract data indicates, not only indicates, but it mandates, or I should say mandates, this is date of start and this is date of completion, or this is duration of this, and if you do not do in time, then every day you have to pay damages, and that's called liquidated damages, and that damages can be recovered from contractor. And also those damages are limited. We cannot say maximum in construction contract of construction. Generally it is up to 10% of contract price, lump sum price, and more than 10%, or a limit can be defined that more than this you cannot charge, even if your project is not completed in double time of contract or triple time of contract. You see, beauty, there is a limit, because limit is also important. Though I think I don't think it's good that LD should apply, but just to keep deterrent, delay is deterrent, or just to keep enthusiasm on contractor and also on employer, that both parties have some liabilities, they can claim on each other, just to, you can say, keep them serious. This LD, which is very complicated title, which is complicated term, LD can be imposed upon contractor, and also late payment issues should be clarified. If employer doesn't pay within this period, which you can call reasonable period or defined period, which may be say 1 month or 15 days or 2 months or whatever you decide, then you have to pay something else, or you can say you have to pay, employer has to pay some damages to, damage you may not call damages, but let us say some, you can say some incentive or some payment to contractor, why payment is delayed. And if there's another alternative for that, is that you have to provide extension of time if contractor applies, because duration of contract is very important. You have to finish that job by that. You have to hand over within that contract duration, and if there is no possibility of handing over due to whatever reason, then there should be on record during currency of that contractor applied for extension of time, and employer allowed that extension of time based on recommendations by engineer. That is another, you can say, replacement for damages. These are just brief conditions I try to explain because this is construction contract and there are so many issues in that, like design issue, role of engineer issue, role of contractors engineer issue. Then methods are there, construction methods, contracts liabilities, contract coordination, organizational coordination, hundreds of communication during currency of contract, and same way technical coordination, engineering coordination, and all these are involved in every contract. Just talking is not enough, we have to understand point by point something in reference so that we should not remain confused. Confusion has to be avoided. So as I said, this is AnnexSL ISO 9001-2015 contracting journal. When I'm saying contracting journal, means it is big issue, it's not ordinary contractor, it's a big party, and this is RCC building construction. Same party, if having expertise, can go for road construction, they can go for infrastructure like bridges construction, they can go for whatever work when building construction is involved, airport, commercial buildings, residential buildings, hospital buildings, amenities building, whatever else you can say, institutional buildings, all are involved. And also infrastructure works like sewerage, water supply, plumbing, gas, major or minor activities in that. So much can't be limited in one contract. There are thousands of contracts working around the world in construction, and we relate to FIDIC generally. FIDIC construction, red book it is. When we call construction, red book means we have to read red book, we have to understand it, and then it's common understanding, means you can, as an engineer, or even if you are not an engineer, you can understand meaning of contract. It's very, very simple, because of course it is written contract, it is detailed contract, there are so many restrictions within this contract, so many limits there, which are technical, contractual, professional and legal. Technical, engineering, contractual, legal, professional, and all these someone has to understand for purpose of clear communication and also to coordinate and to do that. Just like we say, plan, do, check and act. It should be done before execution is over. I mean contract execution is not done. Before that we have to do all this activity, plan, do, check and you can say plan, do, check and act. PDCA we call it generally, and that is what, once you sign, once both parties execute contract, then there is no meaning. Yes, they can amend it later on if both parties agree. There is no bar. If there is some error in that and both parties say no, yes, I accept my error and I want to rectify it, and contractor also accepts it, this can be rectified. There is no bar that you have to go to arbitration for that purpose. No, it's not necessary, because there can be errors if it doesn't affect your cost, price, or it doesn't affect your limits, or you can say duration. And if it affects duration, and both can also accept that, it's profession is different. Profession doesn't mean that you have to go to court or to arbitration for disputes. I am sure disputes are admissible in construction. Disputes can happen because so many documents are involved and so many level of engineers from all parties are involved. Party engineers or non-party engineers, independent engineers, they can solve it if they wish. That we don't want to damage contractor, and also we don't want to damage employer, because employer is interested in operation of that product, and that is building or whatever construction is required for, and contractors are interested to get that work done, including maintenance period, and get money. That is consideration. We have to understand that point very clearly. So we can say an organization adopts a system. An organization adopts a system that's called management system, or organization system to take care of comfortably achieving its set objectives. To take care of comfortably achieving its set objectives, which being in this case contracting general RCC buildings construction. I am reading it from there. You can see it's written quality system. An organization adopts a management system to take care of comfortably achieving its set objectives, which being in this case contracting general RCC buildings construction. We have to further just to read more. Management system or organization system comprises various sets of procedures for charting out and implementing. Now see video 0 and audio 0, again troubling. Maybe I leave it. I don't know. 0 has come after long. Now again it is gone and it is 127.7. 4 PS. 4 FPS is not acceptable. Maybe it is down later on. Management system comprises various sets of procedures for charting out and implementing various operations or activities so as to successfully reach its intended objectives, which lead to enhanced use of resources, improvement or risk management, and increased customer satisfaction by meeting product or services expectations. And third is, in this case, product is contracting general RCC buildings construction. So what did it say in first and second? I'm just referring to this page. Don't think that this is clause 1. No, this is just my noting. I try to explain what is that according to ISO 9001 requirements, quality requirements. And it says there should be an organization that adopts a system to take care of comfortably achieving its set objectives, and this set objective is for honor, successful construction and delivery to itself, and for contractor its successful construction, and you can say in compliance to contract documents. So organization adopts a system to take care of comfortably achieving its set objectives, which being in this case contracting general RCC building construction. Then you can say this system comprises various sets of procedures for charting out and implementing various operations or activities so as to successfully reach its intended objectives, which lead to enhanced use of resources, improvement on risk management or risk organization, and increased customer satisfaction by meeting product or service expectations. So what is involved here? Management is involved, system is involved, procedures are involved, implementation is involved, operational activities are involved, and we can say intended objectives for achieving those objectives for which we are working, for which we have this contract, we have employer and we have contractor, and this due to resources also which we require for that contract. We can manage risk, we can improve, and we can understand, if we understand risk, what risk is, then we can take care of that risk by application of analysis and synthesis. And we can say increase customer satisfaction. We can increase customer satisfaction if we at least get minimum level of satisfactory one. Customer satisfaction can be, you can say, valued or can be measured from initial or minimum requirement customer has to be given to, and in addition to that whatever is given, we can say it's something increased one or value added service, and that service expectation for others. So what contract is? Construction contract. Expectation of employer is that it should be delivered time, it should be delivered efficiently with good quality, good safety. There should be no problem in this contract. Quality product I should get, and then I can use it. If I do sell it, I can sell it, or if I do operate it, I can operate it successfully. And what contractor's expectations are, that one, whatever price one is quoted, that's of course it's contractor's problem, but that price should be good enough so that all expenses are covered within that contract, and contract is able to deliver quality product, not bad quality product or substandard product. If product is substandard, the contract has to face financial and time consequences. Maybe contract has to do again. So it's a complication here, because this is 1 or 2 day work. This is not just a journey. You take a flight from here to there and you say my contract is over. this contract comes on, and there may be many items which carry a bare warranty, and that warranty period should also be over. Then you can say for which warranties, further bank guarantees are given to get just, but warranty still stands. So in this case, product is contracting journal, RCC building constructions. Organizations, you can say organizations do work on various systems, various organization system, or we call them management systems. And they say, say quality is one, quality organization or quality system. Then there is environment system and safety system, etc. And all three systems, all these systems apply in this case directly as well indirectly. When we are talking of ISO 9000-2015 construction, and this is Red Book, also it applies to, you can say, it applies to quality system. We are talking, it applies to safety, health and environment, as well as, you can say, exclusive environment. Environment is a part of safety and health. So safety standards, environment standards and quality standards all should be considered directly as well as indirectly. So we can also say that but that should be referred to. For example, we say in this case product is contracting, again signals are zero, unfortunately, though it is 1 hour now, video and audio both are zero, maybe, I don't know. Well, in this case product is contracting general, RCC buildings construction. Organizations do work on various systems, and I said again quality, environment, safety, and these three all are these apply either directly or indirectly. These various items or these systems in line to ISO 9001-2008, before I mean to say in 2008, these used to work on varying structures, very organizational management structures, causing inconvenience to have interface, you can say, with each other, interface between construction and safety, interface between construction and environment, or among them all. Work on varying management structures, causing inconvenience to interface with each other. But now all these issues shall be dealt with as framed in common template, and that is ISO 9001-2015 template AnnexSL. That's what we are discussing about. We are discussing about this template, and this template is defined here. But now all these issues shall be dealt with as framed in a common template, and that is AnnexSL, high level structure language. AnnexSL being a high level management system, organization system structure, has produced a common platform so as all systems that organization adopts can be drawn based on AnnexSL designs or format. So this is a common format, you can say, AnnexSL, that ISO 9000 or ISO has published, has designed it for others. Simplified one, you may say, having 10 clauses, and we can say that contracting general, RCC buildings construction can be easily defined within AnnexSL format. AnnexSL being a high level management system structure has produced a common platform so that all systems that organization adopts can be drawn based on AnnexSL design or format. Contracting General RCC buildings construction can be easily defined within AnnexSL format. Let me put off, I think I am feeling discomfort. Well, contracting General RCC buildings construction can be easily defined within AnnexSL format. Easily defined, and that's what I am stressing, and that's what I try to do for my colleagues, and not only for colleagues, for general people. If they are interested, they can try to understand. Now see, I'm not a contract man, I'm not an advocate. I'm very simple person. I'm a civil engineer, but I am having experience in construction, experience on contracts, just little experience. So that's what I'm trying to share with you. Just keep in mind, I'm not talking about law. I'm not advocate or lawyer or barrister. I'm just an ordinary person, ordinary professional, and I'm just talking to you ordinarily. So what I say, that contracting General RCC buildings construction can be easily defined within AnnexSL format. Such arrangement provides many commonalities, many common provisions in designing system. Implementation, monitoring, evaluation and improvement. Implementation, monitoring, evaluation and improvement. By trying to eliminate conflicts that existed within previous one, that was ISO 9001-2008 system, and before that also. So in this, what is benefit here? What benefit we can get is ease implementation, ease of implementation, ease of monitoring, ease of evaluation and ease of improvement. I am calling ease, but it's not necessary call it ease. You may say understanding also, understanding how to implement, how to monitor, how to evaluate and improve. But remember, this contract is not giving us that help. That help comes from experience, comes from, you can say, methods, various methods which are technical documents, and comes from contract documents, not from contract. How best these documents are, how easy we can understand, are these documents constructible orientation or not, all these easily understood. So that is implementation, and that means, you can say, if implementation is successful, documents tell everything, then monitoring also becomes very easy. And monitoring means evaluation also done, and improvement is further done if you find some conflicts or something which should not exist there, but that existed because of some reasons, because of some. So we can say in general, I repeat, such arrangement provides many commonalities in designing system. Implementation, that is, designing system is number one. We have to design that first of all, then implement it, then monitor it, and after that evaluate it and improve if improvement is required. Do not wait for times to come, but improve it, and if it is required, you can re-evaluate it by trying to eliminate conflicts that existed within ISO 9000 itself, 2008. Various stages related contracting General RCC buildings construction can be covered within this AnnexSL template successfully, and that's what it has been tried to include some points, not all points, some points in this format. And all management systems shall have single high-level identical core text. These management systems shall have with common terms and definitions which can be defined within AnnexSL. This one issue here which we should understand clearly. This one, complicated it is an easy issue. And where it says high level structure, this high level structure cannot be changed. We cannot change this structure. That is clause 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. This structure cannot be changed. Means you can do your own, but FIDIC says that this structure cannot be changed. I mean to say not FIDIC, sorry, this ISO 9000. I made a mistake, I apologize. ISO 9000 system says that the structure cannot be changed. This structure of level clause 1, clause 2, clause 3 to clause 10, high level structure cannot be changed, but discipline specific subclauses can be both added or changed. Whatever discipline you are working with, here we are working with civil engineering, and we have worked also on you can say construction. So discipline may vary, maybe it is design work, it may be something else. So disciplines specific subclauses can be both added or changed. As such, additions may be made where required related to contracting general, RCC, buildings construction. So I think you are clear about that. You cannot touch basic structures, basic structure of this format, AnnexSL, but in those, under those clauses, you can add or you can avoid what is irrelevant. I think irrelevant should be avoided. It should not be superfluous. Points should be clear so that everybody gets answer about whatever problems they face on contract. That answer, that resolution must come out from these points or explanatory notes. If whatever. AnnexSL applies to system standards, organization system standards, management system standards, publicly available specifications and technical specifications, as well as customized requirements. AnnexSL applies to all management system standards, publicly available specifications and technical specifications, as well as customized requirements. Then we can say we go further. Says revised ISO 9001, that is ISO 9001, 14001, 45001 shall all be based on AnnexSL high level structure. These three, ISO 9001, 14001, 45001 shall all be based on AnnexSL high level structure, where related to, in this case, though not included herein. AnnexSL template shown hereunder, or we are going to discuss that, is only for indicative guidance to apprise an engineer or others about how new system adopted by ISO effective September 2015 QMS contract. Now, this AnnexSL template shows below is only for indicative guidance to apprise someone or engineer or others about how new system adopted by ISO effective September 2015 work to produce organizational prime quality document which shall govern whole organization quality process required by business adding accountability shareable by business and technocrats leaders. I repeat, this system, this AnnexSL template shown below is only for indicative guidance to apprise an engineer about how new system adopted by ISO effective September 2015 work to produce organizational prime quality document which govern whole organization quality process required by business, adding accountability shareable by business and technocrats leaders. It's not only for engineers but it's for everybody to understand, but engineers are specifically responsible for such design of system, for just handling these activities, handling these procedures. So it's particularly for engineers and also for others if there are. And all engineers should know it, all public should know it, contractors should know it. It's about how this system moves. So then we can say wherever you can say who is responsible for this, you may say both are responsible, everyone is responsible. To be very frank, everybody should understand its role. How do you stand on that? If you do not do that, I think there's an error in your attitude, because you are selling product or you are buying product, both expect quality. Now, I don't think who sells someone is I don't find anybody that not interested in quality, but only having interest in quality but not giving quality, both are different. Having interest, that interest should be achieved, but if it is not achieved means there is fault somewhere, lapse somewhere, and it's gross lapse, not ordinary lapse. Wherever and whatever requirements, we can say wherever and whatever requirements demand, items can be added as subclauses, but no deletions can be made. Let me put off fan, please. Sorry. Put off fan. Very cold. It's too cold. I think temperature may be down. Let me see temperature. So I can say this AnnexSL template shown below is only for indicative guidance. I already told you responsibilities must be fixed. Governance on project must be fixed. How do we understand about quality on project must be explained in documents and must be having certain talks on that, and if it's possible during start or you can say kick-off meeting, both parties are available. Non-party engineer is available, non-party you can say TPC is available, and they can explain at length. Though they are bound, but it's better if it's explained to each other, respective roles, respective responsibilities, respective liabilities, respective accountabilities, and how they are going to work. I'm sure in one talk it can't be done, but at least relations are explained, relations can be explained, and this system can continue, means you can keep on explaining, so that everything should be clear and they should generate trust in each other. Employer should trust contractor and contractor should trust employer, and if both trust each other, also then engineer can trust all them, and engineer can be valued there, because engineer's objective is that work should be done according to contract documents and not beyond that. And if contractor delivers beyond that quality, it's interesting, means you can say professional contractor can do it, because respect can be earned, reputation can be earned. Question is here promotion of yourself. If you can give better quality, it's welcome, but if you give substandard quality, it's condemned. It doesn't add value to your reputation, your reputation as contractor, you have to earn. And same way, reputation of employer has to earn. That employer is timely payable, employer pays in time, employer values work, employer does this and employer does that. That is also very, very significant. So what I say, it's responsibility of those people who are in business, who are having technocrats, leaders. They should understand all this. Wherever and whatever requirements demand, wherever and whatever requirements demand, items can be added as subclauses, but no deletions can be made. Additions are permissible for purpose of this, but if deletions are required, you have to explain why do you need that. Is it going to affect your job or it's not going to affect your job? But even if it is irrelevant, let it be there and don't explain much. But practically it happens that every clause is workable. There is no such clause in these 10 which do not relate to contract, which do not relate to project. These all relate from 1 to 10. You can say from initial scope to final improvement. We can say purpose of this template is just to project quality track demanded by system itself, you can say requirement itself, or you can say ISO 9001-2015 system, that is formal one, which is a mandate published by this institution ISO, and without which applications all existing previous one ISO 9001-2008 registered certification shall stand invalid after 3 months, 3 years, and already they have gone. Only 15 exist, 2015 exist, and this has been since September 2015. Already 7 years have gone. It has also become very old, so there may be more improvements on this. We'll handle later. Purpose of this talk is just to let you know what this system is and how does it operate, how should it operate on construction projects, considerations, assumptions. Learning, it is purpose of learning to customized world, to a world which is practical one, not just from books. I don't believe in books only, because books are something else. These books may be written by those who have never been in field, just collection of some information from various books, and producing another book cannot be, a practical criteria as far as learning is concerned in field. So you can say, therefore, this AnnexSL adoption is a must for new quality system. Now you cannot say it's new because already 7 years have left, so you can say existing quality system. There may be more systems coming in future, depending on research done by these people in field. We can say we have to understand this point. And this is a global system, this is not some country system. And we can say, therefore, this AnnexSL adoption is a must for new quality system operating globally. And let us say that this is AnnexSL, and what then, well, if I explain clauses, then I have to go to many pages. Better I stick here and try to start talking on this. If I get signals again, 0, both are 0. Well, let me continue. If I get otherwise, I'll restart. So clause 1, and that is scope. Title is scope, and this is to be included in AnnexSL template. And what is that? We can say that scope in this case, say there are two ways. One is define scope and what are points that can be considered for that. Here, now in defining scope, and that is, scope in this case does not amount of direct product delivery to honor, but other contracts and parties are involved for a successful delivery of product produced by contracting organization, which scope very brief indications has been given below. Why this phone is troubling me? Sorry, gentlemen. Scope in this case, does not amount of direct product delivery. Scope in this case does not amount of direct product delivery to honor, but other contracts and parties are involved for a successful delivery of product. For a successful delivery of product produced by contracting organization, which scope very brief indications are given here. It says contracting general RCC buildings construction from winning a bid to project final completion stage. From stage of bidding to final completion stage. How many parties are involved? You know that? Construction prosecuted based on designs delivered by owner appointed engineer. You got it? It's very, very clear here what we are saying. By owner appointed engineer, and we also can say construction prosecuted by owner appointed contracting organizations, including subcontractors under superintendence by engineer. Delivery of design and specifications. Delivery of design and specification wise client completed building under certification of completion per contract documents and regulations. Delivery of designs and specifications. Delivery of design and specification wise compliant completed building under certification of completion per contract documents and regulations. Alright, then these clauses, let me just briefly come down so that we can seek more. We said that in this is, it says includes intended outcome of management system which are industry specific and should be aligned with clause for context of. We are talking clause 1 and 4 are allied to each other. So as I said, we just repeat so that we can explain them a lot. It says contractor is not directly, though it's responsible directly to employer, but products are delivered by many parties, many sub parties as well. And some scopes are here, for example, contracting general RCC buildings construction from bid stage to final completion stage. Construction prosecuted based on designs. Construction prosecuted based on designs delivered by owner appointed engineer. Construction operations supervised directly by owner appointed engineer. Construction prosecuted by owner appointed contracting organizations including subcontractors under superintendence by engineer. Appointed engineer. Construction prosecuted by owner appointed contracting organization including subcontractors under superintendence by engineer. Delivery of design and specification wise compliant completed building under certification of completion for contract per contract document and which speaks a lot volumes of what actually contract is. It clearly says scope of contracting company is talking of contracting company. Here again it says that contractor has liability, it has responsibility, it has duty, it has legality of requirement according to contract provisions and according to what has been given to contractor in terms of contract documents. Contractor has to deliver it in full compliance to employer through engineer. It can be subcontractor work, it can be whatever deliver of materials duly installed, whatever works are done by contractor under its own liability of contract. That contract exists between employer and contractor through engineer and through engineer who approves everything, and then you can say completion is granted to contractor by engineer, and ultimately engineer recommends handing over by contractor to employer of whole project, and we can say it is physical state of such project. And this ordinary scope, you can in other ways that it's very easy to describe the scope of this contract when only construction is an issue. Construction is only a relation between employer and contractor and no design is involved. And that scope says from issue of or from time when appointment letter is issued to contractor that we are going to award you this project, we are awarded, contract will be executed, this is start date and that is completion date, contract completion date, and you have to deliver this contract duly constructed on or before this date, and that is what scope is. And all contract documents are listed from this document to involving all documents of technical and non-technical nature, legal nature, and you can say specifically drawings and specifications particularly, these all are given. So it's very common. Those who have good experience, they can understand very well, and if those who don't have experience, they also can comprehend what I mean, because it is direct one, just take documents, do work. Now how do you work? Everything cannot be defined, and you can say you cannot write books on that, but industrial practice, construction practice are already defined through whatever ways, and if not defined, then we have to define during course of work, so that whatever specifications are applicable, they should be complied with, and not violated, and that's called compliance. And if they are violated, it's called non-compliance, for which you can issue so many documents to contractors, so many instructions to contractors, or so many rejections to contractors for purpose of resorting to remedial actions, so that those defects are won over or rectified or remedial action taken over them. So now we go to normative references, that is clause 2, norms. When we say normative references, means norms, and you know what norms are. Now what we say first in this, it says details of reference, standards or publications relevant to particular standard. There can be hundreds of standards, 200 standards, depending on what project you are doing. Which are they? You know many of them. These are all named. You should have gone through them if you are an engineer responsible for that product or project, or even if you are site supporting engineer. It's your betterment, it's for your future, it's for your this project, that you should know what standards work on this, what the standards apply on this. Are those standards included within specifications or not included in specifications? Engineer has to make sure. And also engineer who is contractual one, who is responsible for this project on behalf of employer, that person should also know what standards are applicable and whether one has got those documents with him for reference whenever required, or how much one understands about those documents. So in this case, references are various, and we say owner is designated party 1 on this contract. Owner is designated party 1 and contractor is designated party 2 on this contract. That is Red Book contract, construction contract. Contract between owner and contractor, or FIDIC or NEC. NEC is English institution, that is new engineering contract we call it, or new engineering construction contract we call it, which would be after job is won. Which one you have to apply? If FIDIC or NEC, generally FIDIC speaks a lot. FIDIC, and engineer is not a legal party on this contract, this is clearly indicated, but non-party, it is independent, you can say. Engineer is an independent professional, independent position on contract that exists between employer and contractor. Engineer administers this contract legally for owner. Engineer administers this contract legally for owner, because owner may not have that level of practical competence to look after everything, or maybe owner is busy elsewhere, so owner gives that responsibility to an engineer for supervision and administration of activities of works done by contractor on this contract. Payment shall be made by owner. Payment is made by owner to contractor based on payment certificate, based on recommended payment certificate by engineer, issued by engineer from time to time, and finally based on completion status, keeping abreast all contract conditions. And in this there may be two types of completion status. One is practical completion status, or you can also call it mechanical completion status, when we can say maintenance period starts. You can say issued by engineer, this certificate issued by engineer from time to time, and finally based on completion status. Keep disputes, there can be disputes also. In case of dispute resolution mechanism, in case if disputes are surfaced, you can say if disputes are surfaced, then dispute resolution mechanism is required to be operated on whatever issue. Dispute resolution mechanism, that is nothing new, we all know about that. Arbitration it is called, generally speaking. For your reference, I have just given indication of arbitration. In case if dispute resolution mechanism is required to be operated, on whatever issues involved, engineer shall in first go be referred whatever disputes arise, and whose decision shall be final, whose decision should be final and is final and binding on both parties until you can say dispute resolution board is referred to or arbitration process starts, whatever case applies. Generally these days DBA we call it, generally a kind of board in between engineer and arbitration stage to avoid arbitration, and that board we can say that board can help both parties to move further, and if they can agree on resolution, they can agree to avoid arbitration until arbitration process starts. When engineer's decision is not honored by one party or DBA's decision is not honored by one party, either of them, employer or contractor, both parties are free and shall be free to embed arbitration clause, contract within contract, or contract within this construction contract. Both parties are free and shall be free to include specific professional qualifications of incumbent arbitrator or of dispute adjudication board members, DBA. DAB also you can call it, dispute adjudication board. Both parties should be free to include specific professional applications, professional qualifications of incumbent arbitrator or of dispute adjudication board members. For efficient dispute resolution, it is recommended based on real experience that all members of arbitration panel or on DAB should be experienced civil engineers who well understand contract and relevant impacts of that. Then in case dispute adjudication board has been appointed for both parties, decision related to disputes should be charted out by it. If you have appointed dispute adjudication board by both parties. Decision related to disputes shall be charted out by it. ISO 9001-2015 honors organization document include engineers relevant, if applicable, may be switched to, if so mandated, by honor in place of contractors quality, you can say, system. ISO 9001-2015 contractors organization document to be complied with when no such mandate of honor requires to follow honor system. ISO 9001-2015 contractors organization document to be complied with when no such mandate by honor requires to follow honor system. Project schedules that would be agreed upon by and between both parties to contract. Project schedules programs at various levels, and particularly level 1 master plan should be agreed upon by and between both parties to contract. Of course, recommendation should be there by engineer. There is no way to not to explain that. It is optimally approved by engineer. In practice, it's approved by engineer, but it's considered approved by employer as well. All contracts, descriptive documents, all designs, drawings, all disciplines, not single discipline. It may be civil, electrical, mechanical, IT, security, and whatever else. All project specifications, all general specifications, national specifications, list of materials for selection by contractor, and costing. List of material means a list is given sometimes by engineer, by employer, that these materials may be selected from these options. 3 or 4 options are given, and out of those only you have to select for proposal which material you are going to use. And if there is some problem on that, procedure exists how to help it. If that list does not have something, but generally every list has some materials in specific contracts that you can contractor can opt for either of them depending on whatever requirements. So list of materials for selection by contractor and costing, and you can say list of subcontracting vendors for selection by contractor and costing, if so mandated by engineer. In some cases, list of subcontractors is also mentioned, just like list of materials from various manufacturers, list of materials and list of subcontracting parties also available. That this can be electrical subcontractor, mechanical subcontractor, or you can say whatever else supplier or contractor is also included. You can say all disciplines. A list is also included for reference to drawings, which drawings may be necessary or may not be necessary, whichever. You can see that typical list of working drawings and shop drawings, all disciplines, again 00 signals. All applicable list of codes must be included. All applicable list of codes must be included within contract or tender or bid documents. Specific working procedures. specific working procedures or method statements for certain specific purpose if so required. Says specific working procedures or method statements for certain specific purpose if so required. All other references such as related to safety, health, environment, ecosystem, quality system and others of some, you can say. I think maybe I'm missing something here due to maybe some other reason. I'll check out and bring back what is missing and share with you later on. Then we can say clause 3, terms and definitions, and this includes detailed actions and deficiencies applicable to particular specific standard. Let us go and see what is that. Detailed terms and definitions applicable to particular specific standard in addition to format, realistic terms and conditions, and these are to be included in an AnnexSL template, and these are control references. Control references, what references are there? Authorities, you know of authority, statutes and laws, contract with owner or FIDIC Red Book, or new engineering contract NEC as case may be, or national standard contract if certainly applicable. National standard contract if certainly applicable. Contract documents, owner's personal, engineer's personal, contractor's personal, report or status, daily progress report or status, memos to contractor, technical clarification, engineering clarification, contractual clarification, subcontractors, nominated subcontractor, site instruction, engineer's instruction, request for inspection journal items, request for inspection concrete pours, non-compliance report, material approval request, drawing approval request, subcontractors approval request, temporary works, permanent works, or you can say preparatory works, then permanent works, temporary works, preparatory works, permanent works, construction method statements, standard working designs or details, quality organization statements or management statements, including check lists and ITPs, that stands for inspection test plans, safety management documents, including safety induction, training, upkeep and surveillance, fire prevention and suppression. I'll explain them. I'll explain one by one. Excavation, soil testing on site, soil improvements, blinding, concrete protection, waterproofing below ground and above ground, waterproofing below ground or above ground, cast in situ concrete, formwork, reinforcement fabrication, reinforcement placements, precast, pre-stressed concrete if included, concrete, glass, soil backfill, piping, concrete block walls, roofing, plastering, rendering, flooring, doors, windows, ironmongery, kitchens, wet areas, finishes, special items, testing and commissioning, design, estimated quantities, issued for information drawings, issued for building permit drawings, issued for construction drawings, revised designs, national annexes, nationally determined parameters, published documents, and all other necessary. We are talking of references. You can say we are talking here control references which are applicable to contract and without which you can't do anything. Which can't do anything. It's important. In this comes first authorities. What are authorities? Number 2 is statutes and laws. Authority, who is authority? It can be statutory authority, it can be other authority, municipal authority, it can be development authority, or it can be some other authority that has some responsibility towards that project. For example, airport you are going to construct, there can be some authority like airport, or you can say some other commission or body that is responsible for some specific purpose. There can be environment authority, or there can be some other authority which is directly or indirectly involved with that project. So it's nothing to do with payment of that project, but involved with that project directly for purpose of giving clearances or for some other specific purpose. And you can say whether or not court is involved or government is involved, that's another issue. But authorities are those. Every project has different types of authorities. There may be authorities for roads, authorities for water supply, authorities for plumbing, authorities for sewer system, authorities for gas provisions, or authorities for whatever or wherever safeties are involved, health is involved, environment is involved, and those are all indicated authorities. They are authorities for purpose of designing system, and in some cases also maintenance of the system. Then we can say statutes and laws. Whatever project we have, there must be some function on this. It must be involved somewhere with government or non-government. It may be involved with public. And of course, some statutes of nation or of state and some laws are involved that apply to employer as well as to customer. Those laws are very important. Every contract designer, every contract supervisor should have certain knowledge about that, at least for awareness itself, that there are certain laws. If you have time, you can read them, and if you don't have time, then you are free completely. One shall have to understand those. And if we cannot understand those, then we cheat ourselves. We keep ourselves off limit. We don't think we are doing job at that time. I don't think. It's not alone engineering that as an engineer I have to work. It is engineering, it is contract as well, and when we talk of contract, automatically these laws come into picture. There are technical requirements, non-technical requirements, legal requirements, contractual requirements, marketing requirements, planning requirements, you can say procurement requirements, and you may say all other requirements that are involved with project. You can say engineer who is experienced on such can be called multidiscipline engineer, excluding so very specific points, and that's really you can say required wonderful. All these we have to take care of. So statutes and laws, these statutes may be national statute or state statute, or these laws may be national laws or other laws, and we have to keep in mind that everybody has right to have. So these laws, these statutes are very important for everyone. Sometimes we talk of, but we do not know which law is applicable now, which update. If it's better if you get some news about your nation or where you are, about laws of that particular law, like ecosystem, law like safety, health, environment, and law as such you can say will go up. So we can say statutes and laws are very important components on project. And if we do not try to have knowledge of that, for sure we shall meet some requirement, and maybe somebody who's not due for that, and even someone else like me who knows nothing about that, means we have to understand first requirement. If we can't understand, then we will ask services of someone, or lawyer or some person, to explain to us why you are so desperate. Question is not desperate, question is you have to know it. Statutes and laws particularly applicable for that project, and if we have copies of those updated laws, that's fine. Now, contract with owner or FIDIC Red Book or new engineering control contract NEC can be our national standard concept or contract if certainly applicable. Either your contract has been copied from FIDIC Red Book or using NEC or national standard contract if certainly applicable. That is one, means whatever is there included on that contract document, for you that is contract. If NEC comes in reference somewhere, you can call NC also. It's really interesting sometimes to understand this. You have to give me 5 minutes. I'll be back and come to you. Just 5 minutes only. Meanwhile, you can read this and think of what I'm saying. It's very interesting. Sorry, gentlemen, I was a little late. I was a little late. No problem. Let's continue as I was doing before. And that is, we explained about authorities, statutes, and laws. Now we are talking of FIDIC Red Book or NEC or whatever other national standards we adopt. Generally, FIDIC Red Book dominates, and maybe in England, NEC dominate. And you know, these are formats, these are real formats which we use for contracts. And maybe you have seen FIDIC Red Book before. It's very much interesting also. I think I have shown you this many times. If I can just see if I can find that, let me see if I can. And that is here. I think if I can get that one, it will be nice just to show you immediately. That is a reference. ISO. Where is that? Just a minute, please. ISO, and this is FIDIC. I think in that case, FIDIC White 2017, but I am looking for FIDIC Red. FIDIC White. Where is that? Sorry, I should not waste your time, but FIDIC Silver and guides for structural quality requirement. So here it's gone 6 Sigma. And it is IC19 web downloader. FIDIC White. Let me see if it directly in FIDIC. Maybe some FIDIC. EF. No, it's not there. Euro course. What is the Euro course? General. FIDIC. FIDIC suite of contracts. What is this? FIDIC White. FIDIC GC Bank suite of contracts. Euro course. FIDIC construction contracts. I think that should be conditions for contract. Yes, it is there. Let us show you this one. It will help you just to understand what I am talking of. That understanding is important for everything, you know. It is for reference only I am showing, and that is FIDIC reference only. It says what we can say, just reduce this size and so that we can move fast. This is FIDIC actually, construction, and this is construction. For construction means Red Book it is, and it is that construction, that is condition of contract for construction for buildings and engineering works designed by the employer. And there's so much explanation in that. Likewise, general conditions. And in this there are certain clauses. You can see general provisions. You can see that general provisions. Then their employer, engineer, contractor, subcontractor, staff workers, plant metals and workmen, commencement delays and suspension, testing on completion, employers taking over, defects and after taking over, measurement and valuation, variations and adjustments, contract price and payment, termination by employer, suspension and termination by contractor, care of works and indemnities, exceptional events, insurance, employers and contractors' claims, and disputes and arbitrations. And then there are certain annexes to that. We cannot go thoroughly everywhere. General provisions are there, certain terms are there, and we have to deal with that. Base date, then accepted contract amount, advance payment certificate, advance payment guarantee, base date, bill of quantities, claims, commencement date, compliance verification system, conditions of contract, and that is important term here. See what contract means here. I'll just for your reference, it's given here, and that's very important here. You can say what is contract. First is conditions of contract. These conditions, are given here, and contract is, what does it mean? That's the important point. What does it mean? And I think conditions contract. These conditions means that these general conditions as amended by particular conditions. If you don't accept these conditions, emphatic, we contract means contract agreement, letter of acceptance, letter of tender, whatever addenda referred to in contract agreement, these conditions, specification, drawings, schedules, contractor's proposal, and joint venture undertaking if applicable, and further documents which are listed in contract agreement or in letter of acceptance. First one is letter of acceptance. See, first is contract agreement. This agreement which shall be signed by and between both parties, that is employer and contractor. That is contract agreement which also mandates price and contract data. Before that, letter of acceptance is issued which says this contract has been awarded to contractor, and this shall be engineer representative or engineer. And before that, all these two documents are based on tenders or bids, so that letter of tender, what are addendas and what are contract documents, or you can say bid documents, which are now transformed into contract documents. We have to understand. I'm just trying to project it to you so that you can know, you can aware yourself what I'm talking about. This is your FIDIC Red Book, and it has got so many conditions. There are 21 chapters or clauses. I showed to you that index, and those must have person named as contractor in letter of tender, accepted by employer and legal successors in title of such, and contract documents and contract equipment, contracts personal, contracts representative, cost plus, all these DAB agreement, date of completion. I'm not going to explain this now, just show to you what it is for your reference, so every time you should not get confused. So all these are there. I'm now going to close this because this is not relevant at this time. This is just I showed you this red book. So we go on to specify further, and that is contract documents. Just I explained to you contract documents. Again I can say contract documents means all documents involved before which are not rejected, which have not been rejected or deleted, those documents all as package can be called contract documents, which include this document, of course, which is executed between two parties, by two parties, and before that letter of acceptance or award letter, and before that all documents covering from bid declaration stage to this stage when you are awarded. If these are valid, whatever letters issued, mails issued, whatever addendas issued, if these are all valid, not superseded or not cancelled, constitute package of contract documents. There can be thousands of documents, there can be hundreds of documents, it depends on size of project, detailing of project, because all drawings, all details, all shop drawings though will be in future, but and all specifications, particular journal or else, and whatever in future would happen between agreement by two, employer and contractor, would constitute also contract documents. So contract documents are confined and unconfined both. I mean to say limited, which are produced before contract is entered into, and also those working documents which would implicate, which should be agreed by both, shall constitute future documents if both agree. So main is documents before work is done. Main is that. Others are executive documents, but original contract documents I have explained. So you can start with contract form that we are talking about. Then general conditions are required to be applied, and if there are certain particular conditions specifically which are referred to general conditions, and general conditions are declared obsolete in that case, and particular conditions replace those general conditions, but sequence remains same. So that's what here we are talking of. After that general conditions, you will find specifications, which may be general specifications, but particular specifications comes first. The project specifications come on higher level than general specifications, or there can be national specifications, or you have agreed with some specific activities, and also whatever materials you produce, whatever systems you produce, those vendors who give you material, if there is some specification with that, some instruction with that, that also can be specifically or in particular can be said that it includes as contract document. So contract document, you can say whatever list you have, schedule you have, yes, you can go down and you can fill all this. And these documents are interestingly very, thick in volume, and every engineer who is responsible for project or part of project or discipline must go through all contents of documents, like when you study in your university. Direction for you. You have to learn yourself in interest of project as well as interest of your own performance. And if you miss it, you shall miss everything. You shall meet non-compliance, and nobody shall allow you non-compliance, remember. So that's why we call it professional work, because you have to read first, you have to study first, understand everything what you have to go to do. And if you do that, I think you will be successful, because you have to, if you find some clashes, to engineer in time. Should not waste time if you find some problem. Remember, time is always very important on project. Even sometimes you cannot waste even a single hour. It is project. It may be a fast track project, fast track, it may be time limited projects, or you have already lost some time possibly. You have to recover that time, and your luxury doesn't work here. You have to work at night, maybe you have to work overtime, you have to study it in your own interest, because if you don't study that, you may miss that. Study is very significant on documents, and that where you can say you will get information from various levels of persons who worked on these documents from various nationalities. This is real benefit from contract document studies. It's more significant than your university studies. Here you are going to do it, and you have got this information from those who have done it. It's real application of engineering. There's no imagination in this, no hypothecation, no speculation. You are given a task, backup is given to you. You have to understand task, you have to understand backup, you have to analyze everything. Yes, there can be conflicts. You have to understand conflicts as well. It's not simple that I accept blindly. It is technical work, professional work, logical work. There can be any end which doesn't fit in other end. And you know that at some point you can raise that question in terms of queries, engineering queries or technical queries, and then you can send it to competent person who is engineer, and that engineer shall solve it, or if you can solve it, you can propose that solution after describing conflict, and maybe engineer agreed that, and that's what is required. Means you try to do your end. It's a process of learning. It's not easy, I'm telling you, because of volume of documents, and not volume, intensity of study that you interest in as a learner, as an engineer. I have even experienced sometimes very senior engineers, they try to learn something specific on some new project which they have never done before. It's therefore very important from study point of view that you get acquainted with methods, new methods, and if you are not acquainted with, you have to write new methods. For doing that, and you can write only when you go through manufacturer's instructions, manufacturer's data sheet, or whatever some direction has been given on drawings itself or in specifications itself, what should be done. And if you can do that, you have to ensure, or you have to find some parallel solution which fits into same result. It's that way. Means you have to concentrate on what you do. You have to coordinate all documents, all disciplines. And here where I say coordination weighs a lot. Coordination. Engineering coordination, work coordination. It's not administrative coordination. It is engineering and technical coordination. It's drawings, disciplines coordination. It is specifications and requirements coordination. There may be confusions, there may not be confusions. There may be clarities, there may not be clarities. It can happen, and in that period of time, which is your contract period, you have to study all. You have to keep in mind conflict discovery, or you can say conflict proposal, solution may take some time, and it should be kept in mind what time is there, how much time is permissible to you, or you may have to deal at your personal level for interacting that clarification, interacting that conflict with your seniors or with engineer, so that you can save time. Agreement, verbal agreement can be made, and that can be documented later on, but work should not stop to save time. That's what I say. This is different kind of study, far higher than study that is conducted at institution level, university level, and moreover it's going to be responsible work based on your conflict resolution and your attempt that you achieve something without without you know without any colleague with you. You have to share responsibility of every work, and that is your achievement, I can say, if you can solve such problems, because engineers are employed to do a job and to solve problems if job requires to solve it. It's something new, I can tell you. Explanation is new, work exists there. Engineers solve problem, but those are kept behind curtain. People do not know that. And engineers also feel shy in exposing them, or they cite level and they sometimes don't record it, which is also not right. It is in interest of your organization commercially that all such conflicts and resolutions must be recorded somewhere in form of either technical query, site technical query, engineering query, or whatever other instruction that you get it on your request. This is what I say. Contract documents must be clear, exclusively clear, technically, commercially, contractually, in all respects, and it should be your attempt to avoid route to you can say disputes administration board or adjudication board, or then to arbitration. It is in interest of everybody if issues are involved and resolved at first level, and that is engineers level. It shall be good for you as contractor level, and also good for employer at engineer level, that disputes are combat at beginning, so that disputes do not go further until there is no agreement. This is contract document. There can be long definition of this contract document depending on size of project, and it is really knowledgeable as far as construction is concerned, as far as procedures are concerned, as far as construction engineering is concerned, and as far as construction research is concerned. This is called construction operation, and also called construction research, because you have to discover so many conflicts among that. It's not easy. Everybody cannot do it until one concentrates on that. And concentration doesn't mean 1 minute or 2 minutes concentration. It remains continuous, study-based continuation, study-based concentration. And concentration means you have to extract every information which you want to know, and that should be collected one place for purpose of coordination, for purpose of writing something which is clear and explicit. And one should not go to references again and again. And what I mean to say, professional correspondence is that which is well speaking, which should not be referenced to again and again. And in one instant means engineer may understand this just in one view. Okay, I got it in 2 minutes or 3 minutes or few minutes. Engineer can grasp it and then solve. Hard work. Coordination is not easy. It's difficult. It's difficult only in beginning, but once you are used to it as a coordinator, So you are a coordination engineer then, and that's very interesting. Coordination engineer means engineer who can deal with all documents, who can deal with all people on site, who can deal with its own organization, management organization officers. It can deal with contractors, others contractors, subcontractors, who can deal with engineer, and who can deal with, you can say, TPCs, third party certifying authorities. So I just try to tell you, just try to suggest to you what is value of coordination. It cannot be taken that it is too easy. If you do not have time, then you cannot conduct coordination. Therefore, you can say it's a kind of, you may say at one stage, it's a dedicated work where dedicated person is required. If it is a considerable size project, then you can say a coordination unit may be required. It depends. Because if coordination is not done, work cannot be done, remember. Site engineer cannot do anything in case of conflict. No site engineer shall take risk, because material shall go away, it shall be lost. Therefore, coordination, you can say, is first step of doing work in engineering, and no work can be done. And you can say this is quality work. Coordination means quality. If at coordination stage quality is captured, or we can know what we have to do, you can say concept of quality becomes clear there, and after there is implementation of that. And when people know what to do, why shall they do wrong? That's also one point. Nobody is interested in doing wrong work if right information is given. Bad work is done only when information is not given to people. Well, I think it's precise explanation that I have submitted to you. Maybe you are budding engineer or naval engineer. You may feel that's too difficult. It's not difficult at all. It's not research work, it's operational research work. It's not innovative work. It is work that is done in everyday life. And if you do not go through all pages of documents, then you shall be trapped somewhere, and people shall call you are not experienced. In fact, experience means coordination. Whether you are in designs, or you are in construction, or you are in planning, or wherever you are in quality or safety or whatever you do, concept should be clear. In engineering concept, if it's not clear, you would make mistakes, certainly. And you should know what is mistake. Mistakes cost resources. Mistake costs time. Mistake costs reputation. And mistake means you are not professional, you are not expert, but project requires expertise, and that's why every level of engineer is available on such projects. Those who can run sites directly in front based on instructions from higher levels, they are called line workers, line engineers, while those who are heights, they are called coordinators or managers, organizers, and those are in between, they are called seniors. Just be clear about that. Everything should be clear. If every point is clear, I think you are a brilliant engineer in that case. I can say if you understand coordination, you can do project directly. Means you are a lead engineer, Coordination means lead yourself first. And if you can lead yourself, you are master of work. Go through contract documents we explained. Now, owner's personal. What is owner personal? What does it mean? Then engineer's personal, and then contractor's personal. Honor. What is honor after all? We say honor, honor. What is honor? Can you define? Article meaning of honor says one who owns something. Now here who owns what? In we can say it can be a person who invests money or finances for some project. It can be government or state, or it can be some organization, some company, or it can be whatever else overall. If it is government, government is honor, but government does it for people. You can say title, there is government is honor, but ultimately people are honor. If it's a public body, same thing happens. The public body is titular head, but public is responsible. And when we say if this goes some company or some builder or promoter, you call it, that promoter invests money for sale, that promoter doesn't use for itself. And that promoter is honor as far as legal definition is concerned. But that honor or employer or promoter sells it to some people in public, and then you can say housing it may be, commercial project it may be, or whatever other entity it may be. Ultimately, it is people, it is public who is end user, or you can say who are real owners, but legally that state government or corporate who have been legally entitled to take care of that are owners on behalf of public. They are not original owners. Public is original owners, but for purpose of contracts, for purpose of legal implications, these terms are used honor. So here is who is personal of honor. First personal is honor itself. First personal is honor itself. It may be in proprietary status, it may be in public limited status, or whatever status, no meaning to discuss here. And it has some employees. For example, it has deployed some designer for work of designs. It has deployed some engineer for work of supervision. It has employed some work activity, licenses for promotion if required, licenses of housing for required, licenses from authorities if required, land use transformation is required. Whatever is required that is not included within contract of either EPC or construction, that responsibility is shared absolutely by owner. How does owner do? Contractor has nothing to worry about that, and engineer too is not worry about that if it's not in the scope of engineer. If this lies in the scope of engineer, then engineer has to support owner as far as applications of these licenses are concerned. This is just informative information. It depends on every company does it. They have experts of that field. They have their own legal experts, advocates. They have planners. They have engineers, designers, all who a collective team you can say. So is the different word. Now real is engineers personal. Engineers personal you can say engineers personal are different because engineer is designer as well as engineer is supervisor. Engineer has different roles, varying roles. We cannot strict something in EPC contract, in construction contract. Roles are very different because in EPC design is also added, whereas in construction contract design does not come under responsibility of contractor. Contractor is given designs done by engineers but assumed to be it is a responsibility of engineer or whoever is designer. Yes, contractor should review that. Review is important. Review in many senses. Are affected or delayed. We have to take that point into that is service contract that engineer has to deliver services of supervision and if designs also to employer for purpose of work and that service becomes a part of contract document. On behalf of employer. This takes time, particularly on lump sum contracts. It takes time. These are voluminous documents, and these documents speak a lot. Sometimes it takes many months to produce these documents, though it's computerized world, yet time is consumed. And by that time, these documents are over. Bid time comes in according to plan, and sometimes overnight work is done for many weeks to finish these documents. And when such work is done overnight in many days, or you can say in panic, there are certain possibilities that coordination is affected You can say working drawings are also required, even in civil drawings after issue of. It's a process. It's a specialist discipline which can guide everybody what is to be done. What was to be done was not clear. What is to be done is clear, and we have to follow it in totality. So engineer personnel means all those personnel, including engineer, who may be paid by employer on contract basis or on job basis. That is different. Nothing is linked to contractor, but engineer must have its staff if project is big, considerable size, like its first delegate, which may be called resident engineer for that project. Then there may be many residents also discipline wise, or there may be many specialist engineers discipline wise. Then there may be assistants to them as well, who are generally called, may be called, you can say, clerk of work or whatever else. It depends on size of project, but because one person cannot do all project, so responsibility is delegated. Generally, actually, this has been abused in our country, Bharat. Generally, people write ER before their name, but without understanding meaning of that. Well, it's different, but it happens. You should write engineer ENG actually per international recognition. ENG means engineer, not ER. ER means engineer's representative. Of course, if you work not as engineer but subordinate, you are not practicing engineer, you are just in employment. Okay, you can write ER because you are not, it doesn't mean engineer, to be very frank. It means engineer's representative. Well, just for information. So engineers' personal, you can say, responsibilities are very different. You can say design is a part of design documents, part of contract documents, and you can say that contractor has to work on those documents in line to given details and in line to whatever is included in the specifications. That is very important. Let me just know if somebody is there. produce all big documents, and these are converted to contract documents after award is over. This very important phase. Engineers have to do a lot of work. Design engineers section or that company, whoever it is, for lump sum contracts, they have to produce everything possible. As much detail as possible they have to do in their own professional work, because compliance is necessary. If details are missed, compliance shall be missed. Coordination at that stage is very important among all disciplines, particularly services disciplines. It has to be in detail. You cannot say, I give a little and remaining well I give later on. That is not permissible. Except clarifications or except some minor issues are involved which cannot impact on cost. Specifications must be listed out properly. Drawings must be coordinated. It's a question of responsibility. And even BOQ is also prepared, bill of quantities, though it's not legal document, yet it's a guide document. Conducted at that stage, and we should not take it for granted. Very responsible work at this stage when engineer has to deliver doing work, doing real work. That may be supervision, it is different case. That may be superintendence, or that may be something else. Means you have to supervise there, you have to superintend that. Now contractor is ultimate destiny that gives, you can say, physical shape, mechanical shape to designs or to conception. After this stage, it is only maintenance. And if error is caused by contractor personnel, there is no way out to resolve it. No way out. If excellent design was done, if excellent design is done and excellent execution is done, well, I think that's the best one. If very good design is done and good execution is done, that's also good one. But problem comes in when design is reliable but quality is not reliable, workmanship is not reliable, activities are not reliable, and that causes a problem. Problem of quality, bad quality you can say, or whatever. Now I think it's already 3 hours. We have to take care later on. I'll close it at this point. for further continuation. This is now page 4 of this. I'll try to explain peacefully everything so that it works well, because grasp of information is very important, not running away. And already it's 3 hours, and I think it was today. Of course, there's a lot of fluctuation in signals, but yet something is better than nothing. I can say it's not quality talk because of bad signals, yet at least it didn't break in between. That is some success, you can say, some kind of encouragement. Of course, I leave it to you, because I generally work in morning time on such issues, and I will take leave now from this just in a couple of seconds, just replacing